So your first word is plebeian. Now, a plebeian is a commoner from the Roman times. So a plebeian is a commoner from Roman times. If you think about the top end of the social structure, they were patricians. They had jobs like governmental jobs or religious jobs in the church. So see if you can remember, think back to what professions in the Middle Ages would be considered plebeian. So what sort of jobs would plebeians have? So remember, they're commoners. So stop the video and write down your answer, or just think about some things. Your second keyword is camaraderie. Okay, let's have a look at the meaning. Mutual trust and friendship among people who spend a lot of time together. So companionship or company. Let's have a look at your question. Oops, can't see. So how might going on a pilgrimage develop camaraderie between the pilgrims? You have to excuse me, some of the symbols are across some of the pieces of writing. So how might it develop that friendship between each other? So stop the video now then, please. Let's go back to your first keyword. So plebeians, they probably would have had jobs like farmers or bakers or builders. So that sort of job. Okay, hopefully you got some of those. Okay. Your knowledge goal for today, if you want to write this down, is to explain key information about the author and context behind the Canterbury Tales. So a little bit more information about the story and the author. So by the end of the lesson, you're going to know more detailed information about life in the Middle Ages, more detailed information about Chaucer, and what the Canterbury Tales are about. So let's have a look at your first slide. So look at these questions. What's an introduction? Why do we need introductions? And what are they used for? And your challenge task is, why would you have an introduction before a play, short story, or performance? Can't see again, or something else. Okay, now introductions, they are sometimes found in a non-fiction piece of work, but not always. And what they do, they state the purpose of the goals of a piece of writing. So what they're trying to achieve, what the piece of writing is going to be about. They also provide some background information about the characters, maybe something about the setting or anything like that. And also it can gain your attention. They can be there to engage you. Okay, if you're reading a non-fiction text, you know, you might pick it up, you might not just look at the blurb on the back of it, you might read the introduction, and it gives you some idea of what the text is going to be about. Okay, so that's what an introduction would be for, and it would explain its relevance. Now, a prologue they're very similar. Prologue and an introduction are very similar. There's not much difference between them. You can actually have an introduction and a prologue. Typically, a prologue might be written from a character's point of view. And again, it can provide information about characters or events that maybe took place before the story actually really gets underway. So the word prologue is from the Greek word for before and word. This means it comes before the start of your writing or the start of the text. A prologue is a short speech or piece of writing that introduces the reader to what is going to happen in the story. The reader doesn't learn everything, but the prologue gives, sorry, just bear with me 1 second because I can't see past that. Just 1 sec. So the reader doesn't learn everything, but the prologue gives them an idea of what to expect before they start. Let's have a look at the next slide. Okay. Now, your teacher will send you this. Okay, this is the general prologue that comes at the beginning of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. Okay, he summarises what the reader can expect from the story in the prologue. Now, what you can do with this, you can either cut it out if you're feeling up to it and you've got a pair of scissors that are handy, or you could number them and write down, you know, the numbers that come in order. So if you write them, which one comes first, down through to the last. Okay, so you have to have a read and then you can work out what's happening here. So stop the video and do that now then, please. Okay, so did you get it right? So here's the correct example. Now, what you're going to do, looking at this general prologue, you're going to be answering the questions in full sentences. So let's have a look at the questions. Sorry, I'm going to have to get my other slide up because I can't actually see. So when you're writing in full sentences, you can use part of the question in your answer. So let's look at number 1. When does the story take place? So your answer will start with the story takes place in, and then you finish it off with your answer. Number 2, where are the pilgrims going to? So again, the pilgrims are going to, complete your answer. Number 3, how many people went? Put the number of how many people went. So X amount of people went. There's your answer. Number 4, what kind of people went? Or you start with the type of people or the kind of people that went were. Number 5, how did the host meet the characters? Do the same again. Number 6, what will the host tell us before he tells us the stories? So if you stop the video now, then please, you'll find all the information, all the answers to those questions in that text that you can see online and the one that you would have been sent by your teacher. Now, these are the answers. I haven't written them in full sentences, but these are what you need to include in your sentences. So it was set at this season. Number 2, let me just have a look at my questions again. So number 2, the pilgrims are going to Canterbury. Number 3, 29 people went. Number 4, folk of all kind went. Number 5, the host met them in the Tabard Inn. An inn is like a pub, yeah, where you get drinks. Number 6, what will the host tell us before he tells us the story? The host will give us a full description of them all. So you should have something similar to that, but written in full sentences. So give yourself a mark for each correct answer. Now, if you have a look at this, because obviously our English language has evolved over the centuries, over many, many years, okay? You're going to find the Middle English translations for all of these words. So let's look at the first one, which is season. That's on the first line there. If you look, it's spelled slightly different. It's missing the A. So what I want you to do is write down the modern word and then the Middle English translation for each of these. Okay, so what have we got? You might have to look through, so read them. So you've got season, homage, night, company, fellowship, best, everyone, early, rise, you, time, night, and begin. So you're going to look through the Middle English extract and find the words that are the modern, the Middle English translations. So stop the video now then, please. Okay, your final feedback for today. let's have a look at the words again. Sorry, I've got to get up my other screen because I can't see. So we got plebeian. What plebeian characters do you think might be in the Canterbury Tales? So thinking back to the types of jobs they might have had, what do you think the characters might be like? So what sort of, so for example, might you have a builder, okay, or a farmer? Your second keyword is camaraderie. How do you think each character telling the story will develop camaraderie between the pilgrims? So how might they develop this friendship?